Okay, so reports or whatever have been coming out that JJ Redick possibly being, I guess, a coach for the Charlotte Hornets. And while I think that JJ Redick should be a coach, I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be great. I think that he would be a really good coach. I don't think he should be a coach for the Charlotte Hornets. Now, my pick, I sort of feel like should be Mike Budenholzer. I was like, I know he just got, I know he, a year ago let go by the Bucks, but I think that, and the reason I think that him versus JJ, I think that the Hornets need some direction. I think they need more of a purpose. I think they need more substance. I think they need to actually have a floor than anything. To me, while I think JJ Redick, I was and I guess Charlotte would feel some of the things that I think JJ should be like, like with a young team, uh, still got some, young team, got some young players to mold. They're pretty early on in their stuff. I don't know. I just don't see it for. I don't see it just for the Hornets. Um, I was like, I guess maybe in my head I was like thinking like, oh, maybe Detroit kind of got so many different young players there, but maybe that wouldn't necessarily be the move. I was like, I don't know what team is really bare enough in a way too. I was like, I think he can be a good like the Brooklyn Nets. I don't think that'll be a bad spot. Uh, I was like, I don't know. I think with somebody like the Hornets with new ownership and stuff like that, they're in the East and it's like they have talent there. I was like, LaMelo just got to be healthy and stuff like that. They got to get everybody healthy to be honest. Um, I wouldn't trash him or nothing like that if he became the coach. Like I said, I think he's that good where I think he could be the coach. Um, I think I just want something more experience. But even though I was like, and I get that Budenholzer is a retread in a sense, but I think that he has shown the capability of getting the most out of teams. He may not be able to. I was like, I know he won a championship, but it may run his course or he may plateau. But the Hornets have never even plateaued. So I'm like, if he has a high floor, maybe a low ceiling, and I'm like, cool. The Hornets don't even have a damn floor. I'm like, all of this, all of everything with the Hornets and the idea. I just feel like the way his system is and stuff like that, I think it would just be more balanced out. We've seen how he was with the Atlanta Hawks, and I was like, that's how I sort of feel like this team sort of is right now, more so than the Bucks. Uh, I was like, I think that's how we sort of have to look at it. Um, I was like, to me, I was like, I'd rather JJ be on a team that's either it's like really young, where there's like no, like like if it would have been like Lamelo like first year or something like that, I would have been down with JJ. But this far in, I'm like, okay. The reason I said the Brooklyn Nets, I kind of like they're really bare on who like what team direction they want to go on. So I'm like, that will be able to work with just because you just got a bunch of like low tier type of players. So it's like, okay, cool. There's no primary guy or nothing like that. Um, so like that to me, that's why that will work. I like, yeah, you got Bridges and that. I was like Cam Thomas. I was like, but they're not up here. So I'm like, you can shuffle around, and do some stuff with them. Um, to me, that's a team that I think he needs to be on. Is a team that really just doesn't have ass direction, but they got players, but they don't have the players. He's a team to be like, okay, cool, we're gonna transition until we got something. Almost like Ime Udoka was with the Rockets, where it's just like, okay, we got some player, we need to bring in some player that we need to figure. Like this year, to really a figuring out type of situation before they do something different. I feel like JJ need to be in that situation on a team that's like if he want, like if it's like I wouldn't be mad if Chicago decide, like, you know, they don't bring back DeRozan, or like they do something with Levine, and then he went with the Bulls. Not the Bulls constructed now. I was like, that's a disaster as well too. I was like, but in that sense, uh, I'm gonna say, I was like, Utah, they got a really good coach, so I was like, I wouldn't say that, but that's the sort of places I'm thinking of things like that. They're not really those crazy bad teams like there used to be, to really pick a spot necessarily for them. But I just don't think that these Hornets should go. I would like should go that route. That's just me. Like I said, if he got it, I think it'd be really good. Also, too, do you want that headache? I was like, you're doing a good job on the podcast, and you know, with LeBron. I feel like the Hornets are going to be a lot more of a headache than it sort of seems. I was like, you know, between the Bridges stuff, Grant Williams, LaMelo, you know, I was like, you might get a little bit more than you want to in that situation. Um, yeah, I was like, I had to look at maybe some more of the teams to figure out where JJ would go. I was like, I'm really just doing this from the perspective of a Hornets person. Um, I was like, yeah, I was like, it's always a little. I was like, look, now we might get more. Now this ownership might be have more grace than what Jordan did, where it's like Jordan wants to immediately go to the playoffs and stuff like that. So I was like, if they have a little bit, if they have some grace, then I don't think it. Then I would be able to be a little bit more behind the JJ thing. But I was like, I just feel like we just got to figure out I feel like the roster got to be figured out more so, because I was like, it's so many young people while also trying to be in playoff spots that I'm like, we're doing like a development thing. We're trying to learn how to win, or are we like actually pushing to something? Because I was like, I think JJ would do better with a team full of players that aren't trying to find themselves as much, that know their role, to know what to do here, than a bunch of middling young people. Like I said, when they're really young and they're just like all coming in here, cool, whatever. But I was like, they done been in the league a while. They done already you got to get some habits out of them. That's where it's kind of like, I don't know. Might want to go up a little bit higher with more established people that know their spots, and I can put them in situations. But anyway, what do you think about the JJ Redick being the Hornets coach? More so than him being the coach. I think we all might think that he'll be an alright coach, but to be specifically the Hornets coach. Anyway, until then, peace. I'm out.